last year about how he felt like maybe, or he talked about how last year guys maybe just expected the offense to come together a little bit more, and he felt like that wasn't the case this offseason. How good was it to see things click pretty quickly on Saturday?
Yeah, I was excited. I mean, we were put in a situation where we had to score a bunch, and it was good that we did. You know, we got behind a couple drives, had some 3-and-outs there in the first and second quarter, put us behind, but we responded in the third and fourth quarter and made some big shots. So that was very exciting to see. I would imagine we're going to be in a lot of tough competitive games as we move forward. So we're going to find ourselves in those spots where we have to score to win.
To that end, I guess, what do you learn about your guys when you're in a situation where you look at them and say, you don't have the luxury of taking this drive off or that drive off, we need points now?
Yeah, and that, well, regardless of what happens on defense, we always feel that way, that we expect to score every time we have the ball. And, you know, our goal is to be the number one offense in this league. And for us to do that, we need to score a lot of points. But it is good. It's encouraging to see that when we were put in that situation, we could do it. But, I think the kids expect that every time we step on the field.
What did you like that you got out of some of those younger receivers, especially Nick and Leon?
Good. They did well. You know, it was their first game, so they learned a ton. And they're going to continue to learn and grow. But, one, they kept their poise. They did what they were asked to do. Thought they competed at a high level. And, again, I think they're only going to get better as we move forward.
What was the call on that third down where Nick got the reception there?
Yeah, just a little quick out, just a little speed out into the boundary, and he did a great job catching the ball, and really was probably right after the first down marker, but did a great job of staying in bounds and turning upfield to get the first. And for that to be your first college catch, the third down conversion late in the fourth quarter, that's a big time play.
What is he best at that you've seen so far?
You know what, he's probably best at just keeping his composure. He doesn't get rattled. He's a very smart young man, has a lot of confidence in his abilities and what he's doing, but he's got phenomenal hands. Great route runner. He's a lot faster than you think. Because he's a long, striding kid. So sometimes it doesn't look as he's just going as fast as he is. But I really think the sky's the limit for him.
How important is it that I know young guys have a lot to learn technically and schematically. How important is it to have a guy that, when he does hit the learning curve, isn't going to lose his confidence?
No doubt about it. And that's true with Nick and Leon both. I thought they both went through fall camp learning at a high level, meaning we kept dumping it on every day, installing new plays, and they kept right up with us. And I think that's a sign of maturity. But for those guys, you know, because the college game is so much faster anyway, if you're on the field thinking, it's going to slow you down. And I think those kids are playing fast and thinking at the same time, you know, executing the plays at the same time.
One of the things Coach Wilson noticed during the game was that Nate was a lot more demanding on the sidelines. What did you think of his demeanor, and how much did that help you guys?
Really good. Again, I think Nate's been different for a while since he's been back. I just think he felt, you know, we were in a situation where we had to score. He knew he could make some plays, and he was just explaining to us, hey, listen, I really like this. I think we can make a play on this, whatever the play or formation was. But it's great to see from a senior quarterback who, again, we think he's the best in this league. And so we're going to use what he's got, and he's able to throw it, and we had to do that on Saturday.
When was the last time, or have you ever worked with a guy that had that much command of his strengths and what he liked to be able to say, let's go to this, this, and this,
yeah,
to be that detailed?
Yeah, I think it's pretty rare. But again, with Nate, like you just said, he's such a smart football player that he sees things on the field. He knows what's going on. He studies film throughout the week. And then you compile that with his great athletic ability and his ability to throw the ball down the field. It's a good combination. And I think he's at a confidence level where he feels like the game is slowed down and he can see everything that's going on.
How far has Jordan Howard's conditioning come in the last 7-8 months?
A long way. Really, since winter workouts, spring ball, he's come a long way. And a game like Saturday just shows why he needs that, because he's going to be our workhorse and he needs to be in great shape.
He's a man of few words, isn't he?
Yeah, he didn't say much at all. But you know what? We all said it as coaches on game day. When we said set hike, when the lights came on, he was a different person. And that's great to have those qualities. That when you know the big games come, he's going to step up.
How crucial, it's kind of a basic question, but in that vein, it felt like Divine and Jordan both running hard and kept you guys on schedule on a lot of drives.
No
I
doubt.
guess lots of just 4 or 5 yards on first down to open up more things on second down. How important
That's critical.
is that regular?
That's huge.
running?
You know, I think we had 1 3rd and maybe 12 and 1 3rd and 7. Other than that, we were in 3rd and 5 or less, which as offensive coaches is really nice to have that ability. And again, I think those backs are a big part of that.
Coach, the other thing, I don't think you guys didn't have a negative play, right? Everything
We
was
might have had a
positive.
couple. No, I think we had a couple of negative plays, yeah. We had no turnovers, which we're trying to build on. We had no sacks, which to us are both positives we try to build on.
Seems like Ricky Jones set the deep threat for you going forward here now.
He had a phenomenal game. Really, in all my coaching career, I'm not sure I've had a guy that had as many yards receiving as he did. Excited to see it. He's worked hard. He's battled through some injuries. And he's a lot like Nate, where I think he has that confidence level that he's been around long enough where the game has slowed down for him. Now he's ready to go out and make some plays.
maybe it's a dumb question, but, you know, for a guy that's kind of been through what he's been through, the injury, moving around a little bit, just how important is it to have that game, as much as maybe he feels like he's capable of that, for him to see himself?
That he can do that, right. I think that's critical. I think it just builds confidence to know that you can step onto the field and make 50, 60, 70-yard pass receptions is huge for a receiver. And really today I felt like he practiced differently, just that he practiced at a higher level than he really had been. And so that's a great thing. We're looking for big things. We need him to.
People have been saying that he looks like, you know, the old Ricky when he first got here. What are some of the similarities between him now and him then? Or what are some of the differences?
You know, the old Ricky, you know, before, because I think he had a fractured ankle maybe and something else to his foot, whatever it was, but he was just very agile, could change direction very quickly, could accelerate very quickly. He's always had great hands, but I think now he's back to where his body, he can move a lot more like he could when he first showed up.
I noticed that Devon Redding got a lot of his carries in the red zone. Is that intended, or was that just because?
I think that was just coincidental. Thanks, man.